Start it and I'll marry you. The billionaire mocked the single dad. Seconds later, thunder roared. The rain fell hard that evening, outside the Grand Meridian Hotel, where the city's most powerful people had gathered for the annual charity gala. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. Also, tell us in the comments, where in the world are you watching from? Expensive cars lined the curved driveway, and men in suits laughed loudly under the golden lights. Among them stood Marcus Hale, one of the wealthiest men in the country, known for his sharp tongue as much as his sharp suits. He was the kind of man who had never fixed anything in his life because he simply paid others to do it for him. But tonight, his gleaming black Rolls-Royce had refused to start, and the crowd around him was growing restless. His driver had tried twice. His personal assistant had called 3 mechanics, and still the engine sat silent like a stubborn old mule. That was when Daniel arrived. Daniel Reyes was not a guest at the gala. He was there to deliver a catering order, wearing worn jeans, a faded jacket, and carrying the quiet dignity of a man used to hard work and harder days. He was a single father of 2 daughters, working 3 jobs since his wife passed away 2 years ago. His hands were calloused, his shoes were old, but his eyes were sharp and steady. He noticed the car. He noticed the hood slightly lifted, and without thinking he walked a little closer, the way a man does when something mechanical calls out to him. Marcus caught the movement and turned. He looked Daniel up and down slowly, the way rich men sometimes do to people they consider beneath them, scanning him like he was an inconvenience. Someone in the crowd chuckled. Marcus raised an eyebrow and smiled the smile of a man who never passed on a chance to perform for an audience. "You there," Marcus called out loudly, making sure everyone could hear. "Think you can fix it?" Daniel stopped. He looked at the car calmly. "Maybe," he said quietly. The crowd laughed. Marcus spread his arms wide like a showman. "Tell you what," he announced with a grin. "Start it and I'll marry you." More laughter. Louder this time. Someone even pulled out their phone to record. Marcus was enjoying himself completely, confident in the impossibility of the moment, certain this tired-looking stranger would either walk away, embarrassed, or fumble around under the hood for a while before giving up. Daniel did not smile. He did not argue. He did not explain himself or ask for respect he knew he would not receive. He simply set down his delivery bag carefully, rolled up his sleeves and walked to the front of the car. He looked under the hood for exactly 11 seconds. Then he reached in with both hands, adjusted something near the fuel relay, checked a small wire, connection near the ignition coil, tapped a sensor twice with his knuckle and stood back. "Try it now," he said. The driver looked at Marcus. Marcus waved his hand lazily, still smiling, still certain. The driver turned the key. For 1 second there was silence. Then thunder roared. The engine came alive with a deep, powerful growl that vibrated through the wet pavement and silenced every single person standing in that driveway. The laughter stopped. The phones lowered. Marcus stared at the running engine and then slowly turned to look at Daniel, the smile no longer on his face. Daniel was already wiping his hands on a small cloth he kept in his pocket. He picked up his delivery bag, straightened his jacket, and looked at Marcus without anger, without pride, without the need to say anything at all. But someone in the crowd asked the question everyone was suddenly thinking. "How did you know how to do that?" Daniel glanced back once. Spent 12 years as a lead mechanical engineer at Harton. Motors before. "I left to raise my daughters alone," he said simply. Then he walked inside to deliver his order. The crowd stood in the rain, and Marcus Hale, the billionaire who had laughed the loudest, stood the quietest of them all. Because sometimes the man you mock in the storm is the very man who understands exactly how thunder is made. If you enjoyed this story and it touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness True Stories, where every story reminds us that real strength lives in the quietest people.